Contact us to avail the combo offer of General Studies and Public Administration optional with 20% discount.
Good morning everyone. Today we are going to have the Hindu analysis of 10th July 2021. Yes, good morning. So yes, these are the important articles relevant to our examination, mains related articles and prelims related articles. First of all, let us take overview of all these articles, then we will discuss them one by one. Yes, undead section. So the context of this particular editorial on page number 6, it is talking about the section 66A of Information and Technology Act 2000, which was invalidated and declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court in 2015 in Shreya Shingal case. However, police as well as the lower judiciary still are let us say framing the charges against people by invoking this section. So context of this article is the petition that is filed in the Supreme Court regarding this issue. We will discuss that particular aspect from polity perspective, GS2 paper. Okay. Then a perception shift in relations between Sri Lanka and China. So from international relations perspective, we need to understand that India and its neighbors relationship. So whatever the Chinese investment that is happening in India's neighborhood, be it Sri Lanka, be it Pakistan or even Nepal and Bangladesh. Okay, so recently in mains examination last year or last year there was one question that China has been using its economic and military power to grow its presence in India's neighborhood. So how it affects India's interest, strategic interest, security interest. So we should be aware about these developments. So in Sri Lanka, how China is growing its presence, how it is helping Sri Lanka in different economic aspects. So we will take input from international relations perspective here. The explainer on page number 13. Now specifically prelims related articles, Public Accounts Committee, there is one article on page number 1. It is talking about the Public Account Committee of West Bengal State Assembly. Okay, but we have to take input here. The similar kind of committee exists in Parliament also, Public Account Committee, that is important for us, parliamentary committees. Okay, so what is this Public Account Committee, the members, how they are elected, all this basic information about Public Account Committee. Then Zika virus. So recently some of the cases identified in Kerala for this Zika virus, so that's why again it is in news, and how it becomes the concern of public health aspect. So yes, basics about Zika virus from science and technology perspective we are going to take input here. Then Himalayan yaks to be insured. So what is this particular initiative of insuring the Himalayan yaks, the basic information where in which states Himalayan yaks are found. So that information from environment perspective we are going to take here. And lastly, COVID-19 related developments at national and international stage and practice prelims MCQs on today's The Hindu news. Okay, yes. So first article on page number 6, undead section. So undead section, the word used here because the section 66A of IT Act 2000. First of all, the context is that section 66A of IT Act, which was struck down as unconstitutional 6 years ago in 2015 by Supreme Court, is still being invoked by police and in trial courts, in subordinate judiciary by magistrates. Okay, so this is the context. Recently there is one PIL filed, public interest litigation by one NGO on this issue. Okay, that's why it is in news. So what is this section 66A of IT Act? First of all, let us try to understand that. It is regarding, or we can say, the electronic messages which are derogatory or annoying to others, annoying or may cause harm or may lead to violence. Okay, so these messages which are sent through computer or computer resources internet, or we can say use of internet, computer resources, even use of smartphone now. Okay, so yes, these messages, when they are derogatory, annoying, or we can say may lead to violence, law and order situation, then police can file the case by invoking this particular act of information section of IT Act, and the maximum punishment under this section was up to 3 years. Okay, up to 3 years. This was the section. However, this was struck down by the Supreme Court in Shreya Singhal case. Okay, Shreya Singhal case, very famous. So here the Supreme Court has said that this is having very vague definition or terms which has scope of misuse of power by the law enforcement agencies, administration or the government. Along with that, it affects fundamental right of freedom of speech and expression. Right to freedom of speech and expression under Article 19(1). Okay, under Article 19(1) or 19(a)(1). Okay, so under Article 19 there are total 6 freedoms. Right to freedoms are given. In that, first one is right to freedom of speech and expression. So according to Supreme Court, basically this section has some vague provisions, and therefore there is possibility of misuse. At the same time, it may go against the rights which are provided in the Article 19, especially this right to freedom of speech and expression, and that's why it was struck down as unconstitutional. Okay, clearly Supreme Court has struck down this article or section of this IT Act as unconstitutional. However, still police and even let's say lower judiciary is unaware about this Shreya Singhal case. The police as well as lower judiciary unaware about the judgment. We have to understand the analysis here about this particular situation. Lack of awareness among police officers as well as magistrates in lower judiciary. Okay, this is the situation that we are having regarding this particular issue. Then the second important aspect is that ignorance of law. As we can understand that suppose I am breaking any rule or law, and if I am unaware about that law, whether the judiciary will accept my innocence? No. Still I will be punished for the breaking of that law. Means citizens are, let's say this is not the excuse for citizen for the ignorance of law, then how can police or even the magistrate can have such kind of excuse of ignorance of law? There cannot be such excuse for them, and therefore they should be aware about such judicial pronouncements. Okay, so in analysis you can write down in this manner, and as a way forward, surely the major aspect is that the Supreme Court in this particular PIL, now the case is there, Supreme Court may give directives to states and police establishment, even lower judiciary, to follow the judicial pronouncement and increase the awareness about them. But proactive let's say information and creating awareness among police officials by state governments, or even we can say police directorates. So what they, police commissioners, they can increase the awareness among the police officials regarding such kind of judicial pronouncement, and then automatically the police will not invoke these sections. Okay, so this is very important aspect, and as these sections from time to time judiciary declare certain sections of the act as unconstitutional, and therefore police should be updated about this. Even lower judiciary should be updated about this, so that the people do not face unnecessary harassment. This is the outcome of this particular article. Okay, any question regarding this? Okay. Yes. Now, moving on to next article, a perception shift in relations between Sri Lanka and China. Just now I was talking about this context of this explainer that is there on world page, page number 13. It is talking about the growing Chinese presence in Sri Lanka, India's neighborhood. Okay. So, in recent times, especially after the pandemic, the help, yes, how can police aware about too busy schedule? Okay. So, yes, surely police are very much busy in ensuring law and order, but especially if we are training the heads of stations like SHOs, station house officers, surely they are not directly going to the, what we can say, they can be directly trained by the state government, especially regarding all these judicial pronouncement, not all the police officials. Okay. So, if that person is the head of that particular station, then that person can be we can say made aware, and then indirectly that person can make aware the spread the awareness about that in that police station. Okay. So, in this manner the awareness can be spread. Fine. Yes. Now, regarding this particular article, the increase in the investment by China in Sri Lanka, especially in last 1 year after the pandemic, China has topped the charts in providing crucial and timely support for Sri Lanka by the way of $2 billion in loans and currency swap, Sinopharm vaccines totaling over 1 million in donation, and 6 million for procurement so far. Okay. So, in past also, for example, this Colombo port city, where China has heavily invested in the infrastructure development of that port city. So, now what is happening is, recently Sri Lankan government passed the controversial bill governing the China backed Colombo port city, and in that bill to some extent the control over assets is given to Chinese government. Okay. So, that means it affects the sovereignty of the country. Here you have to understand that what China is doing in small countries in India's neighborhood, it is first of all helping these countries without any expectation. First of all, then it is extending huge loans for infrastructure development, and when these small countries are not able to repay those loans, then it is expecting some kind of rights over the assets that it has created in that country. So, to some extent it affects the sovereignty of the country, and therefore, when such assets control is there by the Chinese government in India's neighborhood, it indirectly affects India's security concerns, okay, or security interests. So, actually we have to look this particular point from that perspective, how it affects India's interest. Okay. Now, the other concerns, as there are, let's say, concerns regarding the asset control by China here in this Colombo port city. Along with that, other controversies like signboards in public places and government offices that included Mandarin while excluding Tamil, a national language in Sri Lanka. Right. So again, the Tamilian minority in Sri Lanka supports India anyhow, and it is against China, and therefore these decisions, they are opposed by Tamilian minority in the Sri Lankan parliament. Along with that, recently Sri Lanka's influential Buddhist monks also said that they would never allow Chinese colony in their country. That means Sinhalese as well as Tamilian, they are actually against such kind of Chinese control in, we can say, Sri Lankan territory. Okay, so this is the aspect that we should be aware about. Yes, in first part we have mentioned the page numbers. Okay, so yes, it can be 11 or 13, I do not remember exactly now. Okay, but world page, it is on world page, that is for sure. Explainer in the Hindu newspaper. Okay, page number may vary according to edition, again I am repeating. Okay, yes, which book to refer for IR? Again let me tell you that IR is largely from the current and contemporary affairs. Basics, for basics you can refer any of the particular, let's say, standard book. Let me suggest you that there is one book by, written by, what we can say, Pax Indica, name of the book. Okay, Pax Indica. So exactly I am not able to remember the name. He is actually MP of Congress. Anyone remembering this? MP of Congress from Kerala, very famous personality. Yes, sorry. Yes, Shashi Tharoor. So he has written this Pax Indica book. You can refer to this book, but especially for bilateral relations for each country, try to refer to our Ministry of External Affairs website. So for bilateral relations with each country, India has certain kind of niche areas for bilateral relations. You can refer to those pages. Okay. And contemporary and current affairs. So whatever we are learning in the current affairs, have follow up on that. You make separate notebook for IR, and in that what you can do is India-US relations. Leave 5 to 6 or 10 pages for that. These big countries, India's strong relations with these large countries, there will be many such articles and points development. So give more weightage in the notebook for India, US, Russia, China, and then the other countries. And then small countries like European countries like Germany is there or UK is there, where individual bilateral relations based questions will not be there, but overall India-EU relations, India-ASEAN relations, or we can say India-Australia, India-Japan relations, such kind of bilateral questions. And then India's let's say relationship with regional groupings and trade blocks like RCEP, ASEAN is there. And then we can expect question on, we can say, United Nations is there, Security Council reforms. So these are various issues. From time to time the articles appear in the Hindu newspaper, and then we will take input accordingly. Okay, but have follow up on all these issues, because if you are not updated in your information in answer, then that becomes the problem. Okay, fine. Yes, so from IR section, try to take follow up on this particular issue. Growing presence of China in India's neighborhood. This is a special topic, try to remember about this. Okay? Yes. Then specifically prelims related articles, Public Accounts Committee. So there is one article on page number 1 regarding Public Accounts Committee of West Bengal Assembly, but yes, there is one appointment of the chairman of Public Accounts Committee from the ruling party itself. Trinamool Congress. And that's why the opposition parties are let's say criticizing this decision, because there is evolved convention that opposition party member will be the chairman of Public Accounts Committee. The same is the convention evolved at the parliament level also. So what is important for our examination is this committee in the parliament. So parliamentary committee, and in that there are 3 financial committees in the parliamentary committees. They are Public Account Committee, Estimates Committee, and the third one is Committee on Public Sector Undertakings. Okay, PSUs, Committee on Public Sector Undertakings. So all this information is given in M. Lakshmikant book, chapter name Parliamentary Committees. Okay, now specifically about PAC, very important. It was first formed in 1921 under the provisions of Government of India Act 1919. Government of India Act 1919, and it has been there since that time in existence. Then it has at present total 22 members. Among those 22 members, 15 are drawn from Lok Sabha and 7 are drawn from Rajya Sabha. That means it consists of members from both houses of the parliament. Then the members are elected by the parliament every year amongst its members through the method of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. Now proportional representation system, this particular system of election helps in giving representation to all parties, representation to all political parties in the committee. All political parties in the committee. So that's why this system is used. Then the term of office is only 1 year. Every year the elections are conducted. At the same time, minister cannot be the member of committee. Try to remember this. This minister cannot be a member of any of the financial committee, be it PAC or Estimates Committee or even Committee on Public Sector Undertakings. Then the chairman of the committee is appointed by amongst the members of committee by the Speaker of Lok Sabha. Speaker of Lok Sabha. Okay, this should be remembered. The chairman is appointed by Speaker of Lok Sabha. Then there is, let's say, convention evolved since 1967 that the chairman of this committee is to be selected from the opposition party and not the ruling party. Okay, this is convention. This is not written in any house rule book or even constitution or any statute. Okay, this is the convention. Convention are unsaid rules that are evolved through practices. Okay, so you need to remember that. Then it functions as the committee to examine the annual audit reports of CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General, which are laid before the Parliament by the President. Now CAG is the authority which is responsible for auditing the accounts of the government. It generally put forward, or we can say submits, 3 important annual reports. One, report on appropriation account of the government, report on finance account of the government, and report on public sector undertakings. Okay, so they are actually scrutinized by the PAC in the Parliament. At the same time, committee examines public expenditure not only from legal and formal point of view to discover the technical irregularities, but also from the point of view of economy and prudence and wisdom and propriety. That means even if there is wasteful use of government money by the government, then or if there is any corruption, loss, extravagance, inefficiency in expenditure, then such kind of examination is done by the PAC and put forward before the houses of the Parliament. Okay, so it, to some extent, this is the accountability mechanism of the Parliament. Okay, remember the word. Through PAC, Parliament holds executive accountable to it. Through PAC, this Public Account Committee, Parliament hold executive, that is government, accountable to the Parliament. Okay, so this is the important aspect. From men's perspective also. Then basics about pack are this information. Okay. Now, Zika virus, some of the cases detected in Kerala, that's why the alarm is raised for the public health concern. So, basics about Zika virus from science perspective. Okay, so yes, Zika virus is the member of family Flaviviridae. Okay, Flaviviridae, it is spread by daytime active Aedes aegypti mosquitoes, which are also responsible for the spread of dengue fever or yellow fever, chikungunya and Mayaro diseases. Okay, so you should be also aware, like simple question can be asked like Aedes aegypti is responsible for which of the following, spread of which of the following diseases or viruses, acts as a vector for different following viruses. So you should be aware about this. Then the name Zika virus comes from Zika forest of Uganda, where for the first time this virus was isolated in 1947. Then it often causes no or only mild symptoms similar to the dengue fever. Now, what is the problem here? Why public health concern? The major public health concern is regarding the pregnant women. It can spread from pregnant women to her baby. This can result into microcephaly condition or severe brain malformations and other birth defects. Now, this is very important concern. Now, suppose a pregnant woman is infected, then her child may have brain malfunctions and microcephaly conditions. You can see here what happens is microcephaly means the size of the brain is reduced. See, the normal baby with typical head size is like this. Then baby with microcephaly, this is the normal size. Now the size of head is reduced. And severe microcephaly, baby with severe microcephaly, such kind of cases have been observed in many African countries where Zika virus infections or epidemics spread in those countries. This is the major health concern. Okay, so that's why we have to tackle with this before spreading to other states or different areas also. Along with that, other concern in adults, Zika infection in adults may result in rarely in Guillain-Barré syndrome, a rapid onset of muscle weakness caused by immune system damaging the peripheral nervous system in adults. But this is rare condition. The major aspect is microcephaly. Now, this can be asked in prelims examination. Very, very important. Okay. At the same time, Zika can be transmitted from men and women to their sexual partners also. So, it can spread through vectors as well as the sexual contacts and from mother to baby, okay, from pregnant women. So, these are the, let us say, ways of transmission of this virus in different areas. Fine? Okay. Now, next, Himalayan yaks to be ensured. So, recently National Research Center for Yaks, National Research Center on Yak, this is ICAR institution at Dirang in West Kemang district of Arunachal Pradesh. It was established in 1989. It has tied up with National Insurance Company Limited for insuring their livestock. Okay, livestock, that here it is talking about Himalayan yaks. Okay, so insurance policy shield yak owners against the risk posed by weather calamities, diseases, in-transit mishaps, surgical operations and strikes or riots. So, yaks are actually domesticated in some of the Himalayan states in high altitude areas, especially above 2000 meters above altitude. Total yak population in India is about 58,000, and where it is found, states, union territories of Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir, then Arunachal Pradesh, then Sikkim, Himachal Pradesh, West Bengal and Uttarakhand. So, all 5 Himalayan states having the altitude of more than 2000 meters, so they have the population of Himalayan yaks. Okay, so yes, this is the basic information you should be aware about. As general information we are having regarding environment, when we talk about environment, it includes both, let's say, environment as well as wildlife also, Now, COVID-19 related development, important development happened in Delhi yesterday. DDMA meeting happened. Delhi Disaster Management Authority, chaired by Delhi Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal and Chief Minister of Delhi, they passed this graded response action plan to deal with the pandemic in future. Okay, graded response action plan, you should be aware about that. A similar kind of graded response action plan was put forward by Delhi when there was winter pollution, air pollution increased in Delhi. Okay, so now to deal with pandemic, this is the graded action plan. You can see the increasing levels of threats and accordingly the activities which are allowed and not allowed. The criteria which decides this alert level 1 yellow, like more than 0.5% positivity rate for 2 consecutive days, then 1500 cumulative positive cases for 7 days. So actually these are criteria. If that criteria is met, then following activities will be allowed and disallowed accordingly. Like if yellow alert is given, night curfew will be in place. Other activities will be there, like 50% capacity restaurants, metro will be open with 50% seating capacities. Now there will be second level of alert, amber alert, then we have third orange and finally red. So whenever we are talking about response plan of the government towards this pandemic, you should give the example of Delhi's graded response action plan, and it can be replicated successfully in other cities also. Okay. Similar kind of plan can be there by different municipal corporations in other cities. Okay. So graded response action plan. Fine? Yes. Now try to solve this MCQ. What should be the answer to this question?
Option C.
Okay. Other students? Yes, other students? Okay, let us try to solve this question. It is talking about public account committees and correct statements. So first statement, it was first set up under the provisions of Government of India Act 1935. No, this is incorrect. It was set up in 1921 under the Government of India Act 1919. Yes. So there are different acts passed for council reforms, the government reforms during British time period. So 1909, 1919 and then 1935 important reforms, like 1919 the Montagu-Chelmsford reforms, 1909 Morley-Minto reforms. So you should be aware about that because history is also part of our syllabus, right? So under this reform 1919 Government of India Act, these provisions were there. Its function is to examine the annual audit reports of CAG. Yes, this is correct. It consists of 22 members. Yes, this is also correct. The term of office of member is 1 year. This is also correct. So 2, 3 and 4, yes, 2, 3 and 4 only. So yes, C is the correct answer. Very good. Okay, yes. So these were important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Any question regarding this? Yes, tell me.
Well, China is doing deliberately in politics in South India side and West India side of countries. They are going to be playing the politics deliberately now by investing of their money in Sri Lanka and Pakistan.
Politics.
Yes, sir. Deliberately they are playing the politics games to destroy the IR relation with the India and Sri Lanka and India and Pakistan.
Yes, actually this is the case. India is to some extent continuously protecting Sri Lanka because India acts as a big brother to its neighbors. Okay, so our neighbors are having some kind of security sense as well as insecurity. You know why? Because they have some kind of sense of security because they consider whenever there is emergency, India will help. But insecurity in a sense that India may dominate in its internal affairs. It may influence its internal political affairs. This is the concern, like in Nepal or even in Bangladesh or even in let's say Sri Lanka, right? So many such issues are to some extent influenced. Domestic policies also influence the bilateral relations with these countries. Okay, so that's why we have to understand that whenever there is Chinese investment proposals with Sri Lanka, then India come forward and propose the competitive proposal on the same project. And again there is some kind of, let's say, bargaining power available with our neighbors by such competition created here. Okay, but India does not want Chinese investments in Sri Lanka because these countries are not able to repay these loans. And surely China will, let's say, use this situation to its advantage. Okay.
If Sri Lanka is unable to pay whatever the loan has been taken from China, they have the agreement to use whatever they want of China prospective.
Yes, they will have control over the assets, even land. And yes, and then in future they will use that land for military purposes, building military base, because they have sovereignty.
But it may affect the future for the Indian security zones also.
Yes, that the major concern is security concern itself. Okay, because Indian Ocean is the region where India has the dominance and India does not want to lose that control, the strategic aspects. Okay, yes. Now one more thing I wanted to tell you regarding resources of international relations. There is annual issue of World Focus magazine. Okay, many of you may not be aware about this magazine, World Focus magazine. Okay, I guess in December month there was this special issues. There are two parts, we can say two issues are there. This can be also sufficient to understand the contemporary issues because you may not be aware about what happened last year. So if you just read these magazines, special annual issues, and in that every important issues relevant to our examination will be surely discussed in detail. Okay, so you can read this and along with that follow current affairs, and in meantime whenever you have extra time, try to read that Pax Indica book. Very good book is written there. Okay. Any other question? Okay. So we'll meet on Monday directly covering tomorrow's and Monday's newspaper. Fine. Thank you.
Contact us to avail the combo offer of General Studies and Public Administration optional with 20% discount.